everyone. Tony Winston here for Jazz Piano College. Going to do a little blues in A flat. Yes, in the mood. It is a blues. And you'd be surprised how many songs out there really are blues songs, kind of disguised as pop songs, but definitely a white man blues song here. Probably not a nice thing to say, but this is a blues kind of reimagined by the white people. But yeah, it's still a blues, and it's really one of the most basic forms of the blues, where you go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord, and then just the 5 chord, no 4 chord, and then back to the 1 with a kind of a turnaround. And I'm going to go over all that stuff with you. So, the basic melody is like that. I'm going to show you bass line too. But, the saxophones kind of swallow that. That means you can't really hear every note. It more sounds like it really sounds more like that. So don't hit your thumb too loud. Emphasize that top note more than anything. So as you're playing the melody, you got to put those the trumpet riffs in there too, the little chords behind the melody. So as you go bum bum, then start the melody here. Because the chord takes the place of that first note. So as you go to the D flat 6 chord, and then start the melody on F like that. Go to E flat. And then we have our first turnaround. Sometimes I put I never play this song, not anymore anyway. And usually it was with a small band or a big band or something. So I was just reading the chart and playing the chords. So this is my first attempt at doing it as solo piano. And I'm going to the D flat 9 there. And then let's take it up to E 9. And then let's do E flat 11th, which is just the D flat triad over an E flat. And then we do the verse again. And let's talk about the bass line. Pretty simple. Notice that it comes out with a half step going into D flat. And I'm going to do another video today probably on how to construct walking bass lines and some of the things the right hand can do, mostly rootless voicings and stuff like that. All right, now we're on D flat. See, it's the same bass line. And a big jump here, I guess. Get to E flat. It sounds like a pretty straight ahead E flat like that, just E flat 7th. Let's see, this goes like this. That's the bass line. That's what I heard anyway. Now let's do our second turnaround. So it's basically the same thing. Just going from E 7th to E flat 7th a little quicker. And then we start the little B section, which is like, and then, you would think it would be a 2 chord there, but it's more of an E flat chord, and I just play it like this without the 3rd. So, and I couldn't quite hear, I'm sure horn players out there are just going to laugh at me because I don't know if it's or this. But I like the D flat better, so that's how I'm doing it. You know, consult the authorities if you want to know exactly how it goes. And by that I mean, you know, look at a big band score or something and it should be there. So a diminished chord. There's a, you know, a beautiful, what we call a shape. I used to call it box one, now I just call it shape one. You know, it's a rootless voicing. Here's the root down here, but up here, you got the 7th, the 9, the 3rd, and the 13. And this chord can be used as other chords too, like A altered, or a B flat minor 6th with a 9. But anyway, I digress. We've got like a straight E flat 7th chord, or maybe even just E flat. Then they do it again. And then, you know, it goes into some solos, and there's a section where it just kind of stays on A flat for a while. And, you know, if you don't know the A flat blues scale, there's 2 of them you can use, you know, in this kind of a happy blues tune. Use that F blues scale. Right, it sounds like F blues. You know, it's kind of the nastier sounding of the blues scale, but when you put it into A flat, the exact same notes, it becomes the happy blues scale. But, you know, that doesn't mean you have to make happy facial expressions. And I don't know if I'll do that in this video. Oh, why not? What the hell. All right, so what's with all these jazz players and classical players too, you know, with the facial expressions? I just don't get it, you know. Like I recently did My Funny Valentine. And, you know, I could have put the camera on my face and been going like, I just can't do that.
I don't do those things. That you will not see it. I cannot do it.
My goal when I play is to remain as calm and expressionless as possible because, you know, the more relaxed you are, the better you'll play. And one of my habits, bad habits, is I tend to tense up around my lips, you know, and I'll put a camera on myself someday and I'll show you what I mean. When I get to a hard part, I can feel just somewhere around in here, my mouth tenses up. And I've noticed that when I control that, I play better. So let's talk a little bit about the soloing possibly. You know, you can simplify the bass line. You want to keep them as simple as possible so they're kind of on automatic. So practice that over and over again, and then start putting the blues scale with it. Maybe when you start out, you can just play one note at a time, like. And then switch to eighth notes. Swing them a little bit. And then put some triplets. And when you make a mistake like that, not really a mistake, but just, you know, played some notes that weren't in the scale, hey, if it sounds good, do it. But, you know, when you're practicing, you try to limit yourself to the exact thing that you're working on. And then there's that other blues scale, the actual A-flat blues scale, which is... And, you know, because this is a happy blues tune, even with this rather dissonant kind of scale. Keep putting that major third in. You know, a good spot would be, you know, coming from the minor third to the major third. And, you know, mix the scales up if you want to. Then on D flat, of course, you don't change the scale. The third there is going to be problematic. So maybe just stick to the other blues scale. Or do, you know, that happier blues scale in the key of D flat. Now, the important thing is to keep the left hand going. So make that your priority. And you can leave big space, you know, in the right hand. You don't have to keep playing all the time. And I was having trouble with my fingering there, so I just went, something super simple in the right hand. Okay, I can't think about anything else on this song in particular. You know, there's some fancy stuff with trumpets and everything at the end. But, you know, if you get a request for this song and, you know, you're just playing piano, that's all they want to hear is this part. And this part. Something like that, perhaps. Okay, everyone, it was by request. I hope it was helpful for you, and I'll see you on the next video where I'm going to talk about constructing left-hand bass lines.